Mbeumo chose Manchester United. He wants Manchester United. He still wants Manchester United, and he's willing to wait for Manchester United and Brentford to agree a deal. Now, reports are coming out that Victor Gyokeres is not going to Manchester United. He's rejected Manchester United, but for who? Because I still think Arsenal could potentially go for Sesko. And also, Romano has come out and still said that United are sort of involved in this Gyokeres deal. And I think if Gyokeres had rejected Manchester United, Romano or Ornstein may have said something by now. So I think that it's fake news that Gyokeres rejected Manchester United, because I want to get into the other stories on Gyokeres. Hojlund weird demands over game time next season, reports coming out as well. The latest on Garnacho, the latest on Antony, the latest on Hojlund will also be discussed in today's video. So, hello, and welcome back to Alice Talks Football. And in today's video, we're going to round up all the latest Manchester United news that you need to know in 10 minutes. So, journalist we can trust, Fabrizio Romano, just came out and said recently, a couple of minutes ago, or probably about half an hour ago now, that United keep calling for Victor Gyokeres to be informed about the situation. He did say Arsenal remain in active contact, but he's waiting for Sporting to clarify. They're waiting for Sporting to clarify the exit. There's obviously that whole drama. Sporting wanted 80 million, now it's 50 million. La. United and Arsenal, as of now, as of half an hour ago, was still involved in the race for Gyokeres. In regards to Gyokeres, we spoke about the beef sort of with him and his agent. It came out yesterday by Florian Plettenberg that Victor Gyokeres will be allowed to leave for £58 million as the max. I think it's 50 plus 8 million. He will be allowed to leave. His agent's found a way. It was also interestingly said here as well, and a big dub to his agent, that Victor Gyokeres' agent included an optional clause in his contract that would allow him to demand 10% of the fee if Sporting reject a bid worth more than 51 million. So if Sporting rejected a £52 million bid, they'd have to pay Victor Gyokeres £5.2 million. So that's some good work from his agent. But if he ends up activating that clause this summer, Sporting have threatened to refuse to sell Gyokeres for anything less than his 85 million release clause if he threatens to activate it. Now, I think it's empty threats. I think it's Victor Gyokeres saying, look, sell me for £58 million or I'll activate that clause. They say if you activate that clause, we won't sell you for anything less than 85 million. There's a bit of a standoff going off, but I think this 10% thing and the fact that it came out yesterday that Victor Gyokeres' agent has it written in writing or wrote down, has somewhere, excuse my English grammar there, that Victor Gyokeres' agent has proof that they had an agreement for him to leave for about 58 million. I think it's 50 plus 8 or between 60 to 70 million euros. So I think the fact that Victor Gyokeres is in a position where his agent now has proof that they said they'd let him leave for 60 to 70 million euros. He can also demand 10% of the fee over 51 million if Sporting reject a bid worth more than 51 million. I think that puts Gyokeres in a strong position to get, probably we're looking at a 50 million exit plus some add-ons. And United will like that price. But does Victor Gyokeres like Manchester United? So this is the report coming out. Now, Record Portugal have also said in the past about Arsenal making a bid, and I'm pretty sure they've said it twice in the last month that Arsenal have made a bid for Victor Gyokeres, and we know that they haven't. They're tier 3. They're not like the worst source in the world, but when you look at what Record Portugal have come out and said on this Victor Gyokeres situation, it's very much, for me, let's find something that's going to get clicks. You know, I think it's very much what can we do to get, because Manchester United get clicks, but also Arsenal Football Club get clicks, and they I'm pretty sure are the report that came out the other day and said the bid had been. Yes, I'm just double checking the news now. They said 3 days ago that Arsenal submitted their first concrete offer for Gyokeres. That has not been confirmed. They also spoke about Victor Gyokeres' agent having meetings with Arsenal and Arsenal about to make an official offer. That was said a couple of days ago as well. They've been very much playing I think they know that Man United and Arsenal get a lot of clicks in regards to Gyokeres. You know, they're not like an awful source of information, but they're definitely jumping the gun a little bit as well with that. They also spoke about United and Kenda a bit as well, and obviously Kenda ended up at Chelsea. So unless Romano or Ornstein come out and say it, I don't believe he's rejected us. This came out a couple of hours ago. About an hour after this report came out, Fabrizio Romano was talking literally about United keep calling for Gyokeres, la la la. Arsenal are there, Man United are there. He hasn't rejected us yet, in my opinion. You know, apparently we made an offer, but it didn't convince him, and he's told United he will not be joining the club. I mean, we will know in the next couple of hours if this is true, but I personally think it is. Or let's do something to get some clicks. I don't think Gyokeres has rejected us. He may reject us if Arsenal go for him over Sesko, but I don't think he's rejected us yet. Now, talking of rejection, Mbeumo did reject Spurs, and he still wants Manchester United. Spurs and Thomas Frank have made a move for Mbeumo, but he does not consider joining Spurs. Mbeumo remains fully committed to the verbal pact with Manchester United and is prepared to wait for the clubs to progress. He's prepared to wait for Manchester United. He wants Manchester United. He still wants Manchester United. He's prepared to wait. And Mbeumo is not considering joining Spurs. He's still waiting for United. He's waiting for the clubs to progress. He wants Manchester United. Romano also said last week, and Mbeumo has been clear, he wants Manchester United. You know, we're going to just say that. I know that obviously Thomas Frank has come in since Romano had said this, but Romano had said many times, and Mbeumo's made it clear, he wants Manchester United. We also know from the Muppeteers that United are getting closer to an agreement with an overall package for Mbeumo. Brentford wants 60 million guarantee, but United, they do not want to pay that given the circumstances. 1 year left on the deal, technically 2 if they extend it. United want a lower base fee with more structure. 50 plus 10 or 55 plus 5 is what United want to do, and I think that is very fair. The Muppeteers, who are very credible, do not think that he would straight up reject Spurs, but they still believe that United are in the strongest position for him, and they think it's a bit of a game between Brentford and Spurs to push United. We are still favourites to land Mbeumo. We're still the club Mbeumo wants to go to. Yes, we're taking his time. Yes, we're taking our time because Brentford are trying to get a bit of extra money out of us. And look, I normally complain. I normally get frustrated when it comes to Manchester United and taking time on deals. But if they're asking for 70 million for Mbeumo, I think 60 million is more than fair. And I can understand why United are taking a bit of time. Before I get into the next story on Hojlund, interestingly, Onana has just been asked about his Manchester United future, and he was asked, will he leave? And he said, will I leave? I don't know. We'll see. So that's interesting. He's not saying, no, I'm staying, blah, blah, blah. He says he doesn't know if he'll leave. We'll see. And as I told you guys last month, Onana had been told to look for a new club by Ruben Amorim. So the chance of Onana going depends really who's in for him, aka probably Saudi. And if Saudi are willing to pay up for him, I think he could go. But I don't think anybody's willing to pay the money to get Onana other than Saudi. So yeah, I saw this on this report from ESPN and Corriere dello Sport. Well, I saw it on OneFootball, and they were referencing Corriere dello Sport and ESPN in it about Hojlund. Now, I do think take this with a pinch of salt, but I can understand why elements of this would be true. But this is a bit of a weird request. They've said that Hojlund has demanded a guaranteed first-team role at United next season, which is ridiculous considering how he's been playing. He can't demand that he's got a guaranteed first-team role at United next season. I think United would have turned around and said to him, no, we can't guarantee you that, so that's why you should look at other clubs. Apparently, his representatives recently met with club executives who desire his stress to be a key figure at United. If no assurances are given, a move to Italy is on the table, and interest from Serie A clubs is growing as his future becomes more uncertain. The way I see it is Hojlund's probably gone to Manchester United because he wants to stay at Manchester United, but he wants to understand his place. If he understands that he's not going to get crazy amount of minutes at Man United next season, we might be bringing in a striker, he may be more open to Italy. Hojlund wants to stay at United, and there are people inside United that believe in Hojlund and his long-term potential. But to go to United and demand a first-team role, I don't know if he's done that. I think he's maybe gone to United and said, look, how many minutes realistically do you see me getting next season? Is it worth considering these proposals from Italy? Because while Hojlund wants to stay, he will also think about minutes and game time and what his role could be. But yeah, that was interesting sort of updates in regards to Hojlund. And then last but not least, Romano gave some updates on Garnacho and Antony today. And he said that there are movements taking place behind the scenes for Garnacho. He's giving priority to Premier League clubs. There's some meetings, there's some talks going on. So potential Garnacho exit could advance. and Real Betis will insist until the end to try and keep Antony for one more season, but it will depend on other proposals Manchester United get as well. So we've got updates on those exits. We've got Andre and Onana coming out saying, I don't know if I'll leave, we'll see. And Onana potentially hinting at a Manchester United exit as well. So yeah, there's quite a lot coming out. There's quite a lot of stories coming out, and I will be back with a live stream later tonight. Thank you for watching today's video. See you next time. Bye.